guess it's having that real clear vision in your head of your goal, what you want to do, and there's a lot of ups and downs, there's a lot of setbacks, and you often go forward one step and go back two steps, and I think you have to really kind of dig deep at times and know that you're doing the right thing. I've often found talking with other entrepreneurs, other people setting up in business helps a lot, because it lets you see that other people go through these things, these hurdles, and overcome them. I read quite a lot about other people that have made it in business, or made it and failed and then made it again. So I think it's surrounding yourself with positive people that help you understand that this is all part of the process, it's normal.
There's something exciting happens, I would say, on a daily, weekly, monthly basis. It is a hell of an adventure what we are doing. When I think from where we started to where we are now, so any time we just feel that, we're having a bad day or a bad week, we've learned tomorrow is another day, next week is another week.
I think for me as well, the whole food and diet industry in the UK or in the developed world it's hugely topical now, and getting people to eat better. I mean, we've got food poverty, we've got that running alongside obesity, and it's because of the type of food that people are having access to, and it does become a monetary thing, if you like. It's only people who have wealth or disposable income at the moment can afford to eat well, or they have the opportunity to eat better. And being part of that movement where there's a real need and a real desire for change, and you can see that happening, and being part of that, I think, is really, really exciting. And for me, that's what keeps me enthusiastic, that will change eventually.
It was very hard to start with. I didn't know anything about running a business. Everything had been paid for, working for another company, accommodation, bills, the works. So having a business partner on board helped. I think if I'd started out by myself, I wouldn't have struggled, but I don't think I would have progressed as quickly as I did. I did have savings to put into the business, whereas with the developments that have happened in the last sort of 18 months, that's been more about getting grants and support from Scottish Enterprise and places like that.
I think it's the constant joy that we see when children are playing with our products, and you hear the kids just saying things like, these clubs are so easy to swing, I can hit the ball, look at these shots I'm hitting now, mum, dad. It's inspiring to hear the kids going from a state of mind of, this is really difficult, I can't do this, take me to the football, take me to the rugby, take me to the ballet, never ever take me to the golf course again. And what we're hearing on a regular basis is kids beginning to enjoy to play golf. That married with the market opportunity, which is vast. Clearly a business is all about making money, so we've got the emotional trigger point of seeing the kids really having fun playing golf, being able to do something positive for the game of golf, and then ultimately the money making opportunity with the massive amount of kids out there. There's 5.3 million kids in our age category of target markets in the UK alone, so massive market. And then I don't know how many zeros there are in the China 3 to 11-year-old category, but there's millions of kids to go for.
Caring about your customers and caring about the products that you're selling, so at least you believe in it, which means if you take a hit on something of a financial loss, at least you know you've delivered a good service or a good product. That ties you over. And then again, you need to look not at your last quarterly numbers, you need to look at where you will be in 3 months. So that's a personality trait more than anything else.
Yeah, it gets really hard. It gets really, really hard. And sometimes you feel quite alone. I'm very lucky that I've got a business partner, and we work together as a team, so we're always there to bounce off each other. But yeah, sometimes it does feel that you're the only two that believe that this is still going to move forward. The only two that believe in what you're doing is the right thing to do. It's just making sure that at no time you lose sight of what you're trying to achieve. Because sometimes, the old adage, you can't see the wood for the trees. That happens in business. You get so bogged down with the menial stuff that you actually lose track of what what you're aiming for. So it's maybe writing it down, keeping it visual, keeping something in your office, where it reminds you, it pulls you back to actually this is what we're doing, and we're not far off that. We're still on track, despite all the noise that's around us. We're still on the right track for that.
And do you help each other that keeping the enthusiasm high?
Yeah. Almost it sometimes feels like we're a tag team, and that when I'm getting a bit stressed, he pulls me up, and vice versa.
Yeah, it's tremendously difficult. I think there's peaks and troughs. I think that anyone has when they're running a business or their own enterprise. And when the times are great, it's fantastic. But when times are low, what I've found, certainly because it was something that I started on my own, is it's a very lonely journey. Even just now, I'm blessed with having a really good team behind me. But at the end of the day, when things go wrong, it's you're the one that's not sleeping at night. You've got to manage that. So it's a massive challenge. I think absorbing the risk involved in starting your own enterprise. But when things don't go the way that you plan, which they often don't, the attitude that you have to combat that really determines who you are, and I think how successful you're going to be.
I have a phrase which, if it feels like the momentum's dropping off, then I will keep my head up. Which, if a client says no, then I don't hear no. I hear yes, but not yet. Which means that I know that the timing's not right, and that will come back. And most times, they do come back, or something will happen in the future. So, when times are tough, I don't know, if you enjoy what you're doing, then you can really. You still have to keep your head down and work hard. But if you do enjoy what you're doing, then I think that drives you forward anyway. And I think with the team, it's very important to give them the working environment that allows them to, if it's hard, if they're working hard, that's great that they deliver, but then they should get some time where they can go home earlier, or they can relax a bit, sort of, or have better different working conditions that are easier for them, sort of thing. So it's about being flexible, I think. So.
Always at the back of my mind, I think if it was that easy, everyone would do it. Of course they would. You have to have a little bit of dogged determination, but not in a stupid way. If somebody tells you, or more than one person tells you, that's a terrible name, or I don't like this, or I don't like that, listen. They might just be right, and you're so swamped in it that you don't hear it, don't see it, and are hurt by it. Obviously, there's like a bit of give and take, and you realize if 100 people are telling you something, perhaps they're right and you're not. You should listen.